I'm tired of hearing from this critical drinker person, and he's another Cope channel. Cope channels are a dime a dozen. Uh, he can't figure it out. And I'm going to explain to him what's going on.
Clusterfuck surrounding Masters of the Universe revelation really got me thinking, how many times do you actually have to run over a stripper before they'll die? Wait, what? Anyway, the more I thought about that show, the resulting fan backlash and tidal wave of negative reviews, and the excuses and personal attacks made by the show's creators, the more I realised that it's just another example of the same fucking pattern that plays out whenever someone decides to remake an old IP.
But it's not the same pattern. There have been remakes before this that don't follow this pattern. Total Recall, they made one a while back. It didn't follow this pattern. Why, Critical Drinker? Because the feminist incursion really came in 2016. It started there and it's been amping up. So it's not just remakes. You have to admit what's going on.
Observed in a tweet the other day, you can break this kind of franchise vandalization down into 5 easy steps. Step 1. Find a once popular franchise that hasn't seen any activity in a while, but still retains a loyal fan base you can exploit for cash. Step 2.
Wrong. Step 1 is the feminists grab a franchise that they know guys like, and they destroy it. They give their middle finger to the male fans. Then they move on to the next one.
2. Announce that a remake/reboot/revival is on the way and confidently declare that it's for the fans.
There, you got the second step is correct.
Step 3. Remove most of the key components that made it popular in the first place and fill the gap.
Wrong. They remove the stuff that guys enjoy about the franchise. That's what they remove. Get it right.
With a mixture of unlikable new characters and a heavy dose of
not unlikable, anti-male. Ray is a Mary Sue because she is female. And she's going to outdo all the guys. It's a spit in the face of the male characters. And therefore the male fans.
Of identity politics. Step 4.
Yes, the identity is feminist politics. So say it. What's the point of drinking liquid courage if you're still a coward? Critical Drinker.
Blame the resulting fan backlash on a small group of toxic trolls and reactionary man babies and dismiss negative reviews as
man babies, really? Why man babies? If it's just quote unquote the fans, then it should be gender neutral term, right? So when they say man babies, they're talking about you guys. So why can't you admit what's going on?
An organised campaign orchestrated by the usual collection of ists and phobes. Step 5. Confidently declare that all fan bases are unwilling to accept change and growth, then move on to the next franchise and circle back to step 1.
Not agree.
Yeah, the feminist, they gaslight men. That's right. And they love doing it.
Plan.
They say the definition of insanity is repeating the same process over and over again and expecting different results. But
then they're not the insane ones, are they? They're not expecting different results. Feminism is a hate movement. It's a hate movement of men for, against men. And they achieve what they want. You were the one practicing insanity. You do the same videos over and over again and expect different results.
Seems to be Hollywood's MO these days. Again and again.
Not Hollywood's. Stop using these cope shields. The feminists have invaded these franchises. They've worked themselves up to the top. And they're working their magic. This has nothing to do with Hollywood, really. Because you'll mention even Doctor Who. Is Doctor Who Hollywood? No, that's the BBC.
Studios dig up the corpses of old franchises, go on to debase them in the worst way possible, and then act...
You mean make them unpalatable to male audiences. That's what you mean when you mean debase.
Surprised when longtime fans vocally complain
They're not surprised, though.
about it. It's a bit like serving someone their favourite meal at their favourite restaurant, except the meal has a big steaming turd on top, and the serving staff are all wearing red and white check gingham dresses with army boots.
Wow, this is lame. They're doing it on purpose, and they enjoy the male fans ranting and raving. They're drinking their cups of male tears.
Just doing a little test. A little test to see if you'd gone crazy.
Honestly, it's almost farcical how many times this shit's happened.
But it's not farcical. What's farcical is how many Coke channels there are. This makes perfect sense. Okay, you're actually being honest. They're showing the original. This is a feminist take. See, they're all women, aren't they? 2016 was the beginning of it.
Ghostbusters, Terminator, Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, and now Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, that's right. Notice it's all feminist. And you were too chicken-hearted to say so. Drinker, what's the point of you guzzling liquid courage if you're still a chicken-hearted coward?
The list of franchises that have been destroyed or badly damaged seems to grow longer with every passing year, and I guess the question I keep asking myself is, why? Why do people never learn from this shit? In fact,
This is so ironic. These people have learned. This is their goal, is to shit on the male fans by destroying beloved franchises. They've learned perfectly. You're the one who can't learn. Not just you, critical drinker, but all these guys. All these guys on YouTube, like you bitching and crying. And this is why your humor in this video falls flat, because it's a bitch video.
why even remake stuff in the first place? Well, the last one is probably the easiest to answer, and it neatly explains step one of the process. The benefits of reviving an old IP are kind of obvious. There's a built-in audience that's hungry.
Whatever. Get past that.
Win situation for everyone. Fans of the IP should be happy to see their favourite franchise gloriously brought back to life, revamped, improved and modernised. It's like being reunited with your high school sweetheart, but instead of the boring middle-aged marketing consultant with cellulite, stretch marks and high-functioning alcohol dependency that she's turned into, she's young and beautiful and adventurous again. The studio should be happy too, because not only do they benefit from the work of previous generations and get the chance to bring back something beloved by people all across the world, but they also make a shit ton of money to pay for their drugs and hookers.
They're willing to throw the money away to spit on the male fans. That's it. So it doesn't matter if these franchises lose money. Matter of fact, actually, I'm going to correct myself. It does matter. The feminists want to destroy these, so they want them to not make money. They want to burn them to the ground in front of your faces and laugh because they get paid. Kathleen Kennedy, she won BAFTA. She won a BAFTA award. She wasn't fired. She's going to retire very wealthy. So she's gained. So it doesn't matter that the franchise fails. And that is, she won't lose out. She actually gains if it fails because she gets to spit in your face, critical drinker.
Everyone should be a winner, but it all depends on one thing, not fucking it up. And this brings us...
This is what I'm talking about. The insanity. These people aren't fucking up anything. They're getting what they want. You're the one who isn't getting what you want. No one's fucking anything up. You're out of your mind.
To the most crucial point in the process. See, people tend to be kind of protective of stuff they enjoy, and they naturally get pretty nervous when someone fucks with it. Now, it's easy for bitter, lonely, cynical people who've never loved or cared about anything in their entire lives to write this sort of behaviour off as fan entitlement. I mean, how many trashy articles have you read bemoaning yet another fan backlash to an unpopular remake of an old IP?
Yeah, they're gaslighting you. They're enjoying your male tears. They know what they're doing. Apparently you and all these dead-brained fans can't figure it out. Wow, I'm only in like 4.5 minutes, and this is incredible.
But the truth is that it's got less to do with entitlement and more to do with basic human psychology. People naturally form attachments to things that they invest a lot of time in, and the more they invest, the greater the attachment, especially with things that made a big impact on them at a young age. Watching Star Wars...
Why are you explaining this? There's nothing to explain. It's because you guys have an attachment to this that the feminists went after it. Why can't you figure out something so simple?
Wars as an impressionable young kid for the first time is a lot different from watching it as a grown man with a lifetime of other experiences to water down the impact, and as a result, it stays with you. Naturally, fans like this tend to seek out other like-minded people to share their enthusiasm. They form social media groups and fan clubs, they build websites, write fanfiction, buy merchandise, and go to conventions. It all adds up to a strong sense of investment and emotional attachment, and the natural result of attachment is protectiveness.
Why are you explaining it like the feminists don't know? Feminists know perfectly what the motivations are. That's why they're after them.
Imagine that I gave your favourite childhood toy to some random stranger with the vague promise that he's going to do something very interesting with it. You're probably going to feel pretty nervous about that. But then imagine how you'd feel if he totally fucked it up.
But he didn't fuck anything up. This isn't a total stranger. You haven't given your franchise to anybody. It's been taken from you by the feminist, and they're bending it and ripping it up in front of your face. Why are you showing this clip for? So you find this funny? I don't find being disrespected as a man funny. This isn't fun. This is a fall down humor. No one's laughing at this. This is cope extraordinaire.
Which brings me neatly along to step 3, the point at which everything goes wrong. There's no easy way of saying this.
No, it goes right. The feminists have this all planned, and it's working out perfectly for them.
But a lot of the movies, TV shows, games and comics that were made by previous generations just wouldn't get made today, mostly because they contain stuff that's now considered problematic.
Yeah, you're going to describe things that are appealing to guys and boost guys' ego. They're not problematic. They're erased because they want you to feel terrible.
Capable, heroic male protagonists? That doesn't...
Yeah, of course. So they ruin Luke. So you guys have no hero to worship in Star Wars.
Play out too well today. Traditional femininity, beauty, and sexual attractiveness? Forget...
Yeah, they don't want guys having something that appeals to them. So, of course, they ruin that. Yeah, of course.
About it. Minority characters with even a hint of racial insensitivity? That's a big red flag right there. Platonic same-sex friendships? Are you kidding? Storylines that...
I don't know what to say that, but okay.
Imply women are physically weaker than men or require them to be rescued? No fucking way, sunshine.
Yeah, I know.
Basically, there's a lot of unwritten rules about what you can, or more importantly, can't, include in modern storytelling.
These rules aren't really unwritten. There's only one rule. Make sure men derive no pleasure from it. Once you understand that simple rule, everything falls into place. It's only one rule.
It's a bit like living in the Soviet Union in the 1950s, where artists were forbidden from producing anything that criticized...
Okay, Soviet Union. Is this more the communist bullshit? These are feminists, not communists. Get it right.
or contradicted the official state ideology. So it is in
So
modern
you're admitting that feminism is now the state ideology?
Hollywood, where there's few quicker ways of ending your career than expressing any thoughts or ideas that go against the message. Now that's all great.
The message. What'd you get back here? Social justice. That's just feminism. Okay, I don't know what all the rest of this stuff is. Diversity. That's all these people. This is just feminists. See, you've got it right here. Just say it. It's there. It is right there.
The message. Now that's all great and everything, but the obvious downside is that it doesn't leave writers with a whole lot of artistic freedom. It also means that old franchises being remade to...
It doesn't matter about the freedom. They're not concerned with it. I'd say they have all the freedom in the world. These creators want to spit in your face because you were born a man, critical drinker. And so they exercise all kinds of artistic freedom in order to achieve that.
Today have to have every problematic element carefully screened, removed, edited, or censored, and replaced.
Not problematic. Stop hiding behind these shield labels. They remove the content that appeals to you as a guy.
Replaced with stuff that's deemed politically acceptable, which usually means destroying or compromising the very things that made them popular in the first place. And
well, that is their goal. Genius.
What you're ultimately left with is a bland, dull, sanitized, politically correct modern story.
No, it's not sanitized or dull or any of that. It's an insult thrown at the male fans. That's what it is.
Shrouded in the veneer of a classic IP. The reaction from the fan base is predictable as it is intense. It's anger. Usually it starts with social media, then quickly moves on to review aggregator websites.
Yeah, displaced anger. Like what you're doing here. You are displaying displaced anger. You can't say that feminists are ruining your hobbies. And so you place it on Hollywood and progressives and whatever other shield term you can come up with, which makes everything in your channel useless other than maybe a money grab from your subs.
And from there to YouTube. Before they know it, the creators of the remake are being swamped with angry negative feedback. And
they love it. They love male tears.
It's the internet, well, it's usually pretty extreme. And since nobody likes being told that their work is shit, or the negative career repercussions,
the predictable... They love this. They love male tears. They love you guys giving your angry messages and then calling you man baby and say, what are you going to do about it? Because they know you're not going to do anything about it. You, critical drinker, can't even say the word feminist. You're going to do shit about this. So they're going to move on to the next franchise and do it all over again.
Reaction from creators is to lash out, insult the fans as ungrateful toxic haters, and dismiss negative reviews as some kind of coordinated campaign. The ultimate result is that
they're not dismissing, they're gaslighting you guys. And they love it.
Everyone ends up pissed off. Everyone's fighting with everyone else.
No, not everyone's pissed off. You guys are pissed off. And these people are loving it. They're loving you guys writhing in your anger and your frustration.
And a once popular franchise has become just another online battleground. The fans get to see their cherished IP tarnished by...
It's not a battleground, though. For it to be a battleground, both sides would have to be fighting. You guys aren't fighting anything. You guys are just... What's that thing you love doing?
A poorly conceived remake, and the creators lose money by alienating the very people they should be appealing to. And
don't care about the money. The feminists up top are getting paid. They're going to get paid. And they want the franchises to fail eventually.
So the cycle repeats itself. Unfortunately, it's also a bit of a self-perpetuating problem. The more times
it's not self-perpetuating. It's not going on its own. These people are doing it on purpose.
This happens, the more sensitive and defensive fan bases become, and the less receptive they are to the idea of modern remakes at all. So what the hell?
This has to do with remakes, though. You could have a brand new show. I mean, look, you can have a brand new show that is completely feminist, but the only reason they're doing remakes is because it has to appeal to guys first before they can enjoy destroying it. Do you understand? So it's only a coincidence that it's remake.
What is the solution here? Well, first of all, there needs to be a cultural shift in how stuff like this is approached. Movie studios are businesses, and like any business, their job is to give their customers what they want. Not what they think they need or what they want to give them, but what they...
They don't think you need anything. They just hate your guts. They're giving you something that they know you hate. And they don't mind losing money over it.
Actually wants. So who is the customer here? Well, it's not the perpetually offended serial complainers of Twitter, or the activists posing as journalists, or even young people that have never heard of the franchise before. It's the people that have supported it for years.
Guys are in the sci-fi, yeah. So what are you on about? They want to spit in your face, so there's nothing to explain. These people are not confused like you are, critical drinker. They're not confused. So what are you on about?
In other words, it's the fans. Brie Larson might not care what 40-year-old white dudes have to say, but
she cares very much about male tears. And stop saying white. This is gaslighting by them. They don't care about white. They hate all races of men. Feminists hate all races of men. So please stop giving in to their particular way of talking. Stop giving into their frame.
Might not care what 40-year-old white dudes have to say, but you probably should, because if you're bringing back some old IP from 20 or 30 years ago, I can pretty much guarantee that they're your target demographic now. So now that you...
Yes, that's why they're doing it, because they know what the target demographic is. They're doing it on purpose. Oh my God, I mean, I've got 4 more minutes of this horse shit to go. Is there any point in me going any further? Oh my God, this is painful.
You know who your customer is. The next step is to give them what they want. But what exactly do they want? Well, what they don't want is to have their expectations subverted. I'll tell you that. You're
giving into the false frame again. That is the jargon they use. What they're saying is guys aren't going to get something that appeals to them. So say it.
For nothing. They don't want to see important characters race and gender swap for no particular reason. They don't want to see their favorite...
There is a reason. They do it to piss on you. Wow, like 5 years of this and you still either can't figure it out or you're in denial. You don't want to figure it out.
Heroes pushed into the background in favor of some flawless, idealized replacement, or deconstructed, or
female replacement,
held accountable, or any of the other fancy bullshit terms that people use to justify fucking up something that was already...
anything up. Oh my God, I just can't go any further with this. This is a retarded response video from you. This is a bitch video, which you can't even get right. Oh my God.
Perfectly good. What they want is continuation, not revolution.
Enough of this. Okay. Oh my God. Yeah, of course, you're a Cope channel, so you're doing great. You've got almost 900K subs, almost the same amount of views. You probably have a Patreon. Yes, you got a Patreon. Critical Drinker, I don't expect any honesty from you, let alone courage. because in the end, you're going to make money off of subs who come here and hear you bitch. This is pathetic. Oh my God. Okay, I guess this is all I got to say. It's just another Coke channel. They're a dime a dozen. By the way, Critical Drinker, again, I don't see him in his comments section. So his sub's job is just to give him views and money. And so he knows he can't change his ways or learn anything new or be honest or be courageous in any way. What's the point of liquid courage if you don't get courage from it? Anyway, that's what I have to say about this.